Hey everyone, my name is Brad and I like to vlog about personal finance and what it's like to own your own clinics. Today I want to talk a little bit about scalability and looking back about what was the hardest point in growing where I'm at now. Those of you guys that are following along, yes, I had 2 physicians come on board, 2 new locations coming in the next 4 months, which is a lot of stress is going to be on my plate. It's been a lot of work, which is why I'm here at the office on a Saturday. But I actually had a patient tell me, I bet you're stressed out and more stressed out than you've ever been as you're going to open 2 new locations. And I didn't tell them that we're actually talking to a third individual about opening another location. That'd be location number 4, but that one's not going to happen until either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. But it got me thinking, when was I most stressed out about running my own practice and business? And honestly, I was most stressed out when there was a single point of failure. When I only had one employee that was there, that was doing everything, check-ins, my medical assistants, even blood draws, if they didn't show up for the day, I'm screwed. The bigger I get and the bigger the business gets, actually the easier it gets. I mean, the numbers get larger, which is kind of crazy. When I started to think about, I was nervous that $2,000 to $5,000 were coming in and out, and now every month we're spending over $100,000 on our overhead. It's interesting to get to that point. And although the numbers get bigger, the stress changes in a way. The stress, I feel like, was much worse when I had a single point of failure. Now when I have multiple billers, fine. One biller's out, no worries. Offload the other stuff, the important stuff, to the biller that's still working that day. When I only had one biller, I had to basically bend over backwards and meet whatever their demands were. If they wanted to take 2 weeks off and they wanted a pay raise, I didn't really have any leverage when there's a single point of failure. And that biller way back then knew it. So they kept arguing, pushing for more, want to work from home. This is pre-pandemic. So it wasn't as common for the billers in a small clinic like mine to work from home when I wanted to have hands-on what's going on with denials. I wanted to just walk into the next room and talk to them. That person kept pushing the boundaries, and it wasn't a good fit, which is fine at that point in time. She wanted to work somewhere else, but kept basically saying, I want higher pay. I want better benefits. I want to work from home. I don't want to work on Fridays. I don't want to work on Mondays now. You don't have any leverage when there's a single point of failure. And now that we have numerous medical assistants, numerous front staff, if someone takes the day off or just doesn't show up for some reason because their kid's sick or they're sick, it's not that big of a deal. I feel like the biggest stress that I had in my life is when I had the single point of failure. And I think that's where a lot of people, it doesn't make sense to stay small. If you're watching this and you own your own business, you cannot stay small. You either have to go into a DPC or concierge style to make extra money to make it worth it, or you have to grow. You cannot take insurance and have a single point of failure going forward. It doesn't work. I think that's why a lot of people join up with these larger groups, is because it mitigates and minimizes the single point of failure. But think about that. If you're starting any business, whether it be a new clinic or something else, do you have a single point of failure? What's your leverage? And how can you grow this going forward? Is your plan to go more concierge style? Great, you can do that, but you're going to have to pay and charge a premium. If that's not the way to go, then you have to grow big. And that's kind of what we've entered into. I've called it phase 2. This year, we're focusing on growth. We're opening 2 new clinics in the next 90 days. And I've just started talking with one other doctor about opening another clinic at the end of 2024, maybe the beginning of 2025. And I'm still talking with 2 other physicians about opening another clinic, but those conversations have been a little bit on ice lately. I don't know if we're going to come to agreements there, so I'm not mentioning that as much because I think they're going to end up working for a big corporation, because I don't think that it may be the best fit overall, which is fine. All right, that's all I really had to say about this today. I just wanted to focus on, there's stress in my life. The stress is good stress. I enjoy it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone into business for myself and I wouldn't do what I do now. But when I had the single point of failure, that was by far the most stress I ever had. So if you guys are out there growing a business, you got to think scalability, think single points of failure, and how can you mitigate that going forward. See y'all next time.